Hey guys, for your warm-up today, you were supposed to grab this half sheet off of my table. It says point slope exit ticket at the top. We were supposed to do it at the end of class yesterday but ran out of time. So I want you to do this for your warm-up. You should have your notes out from yesterday, your calculator, your pouch, and a piece of paper for the assignment that you'll be doing after this. For this warm-up, okay, I'm giving you a point and a slope, and I want you to write it first in point slope form and then convert it to slope-intercept form. Show all of your work on this half sheet. Use your notes to help you. Give you about 3-4 minutes to work on this, and then we'll go over the answers together so it refreshes your memory of what we learned yesterday. So take a second to work on this by yourself. Okay, so for the first thing that the question asks us to do is first write it in point slope form. Okay, I wrote the point slope formula at the top. Okay, remember that the M represents our slope, and the Y1 and the X1 represent our point that they give us. So, using the information that they've given us, I'm going to go ahead and write the equation. Y minus Y1 equals M X minus X1. And I'm going to plug in what I know. So, the slope here is 4, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And I know this point, this is the X value, and this is the Y value. So when it's Y minus Y1, I'm going to plug in 4 for the Y1. And for the X1, X minus X1, the X1 is negative 6. I always put that in parentheses whenever I substitute a value in for the variable. Now I can solve. So I have Y minus 4 equals 4 parentheses X, and then it's minus negative 6. Two negatives makes a positive. So your answer for point slope form would be this. Y minus 4 is equal to 4 and X plus 6. Now in your notes, if you were stuck, okay, remember we glued this in at the very end. The first problem with the steps, it says steps to change point slope form into slope intercept form. So now that we have it in point slope formula, okay, what we're going to do, we substituted the slope in the xy. Distributive properties our next step, and then that will give us, to simplify, y equals mx plus b. So from this point, again, now we want to get it in slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. I'm going to go ahead and write down what we found it to be for point slope form. So y minus 4 is equal to 4x plus 6. And now I have to simplify. Can't simplify anything on the left, so y minus 4 carries down. How do I get rid of these parentheses here? I have to distribute that 4 times everything in the parentheses. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 6 is 24. And now to get it in y equals mx plus b, to get rid of this negative 4, I'm going to add 4 to both sides, which leaves me with y is equal to 4x plus 28. So that is my slope-intercept form. Now remember, both of these forms represent the same thing. It's just when we graph them, we want to get it in the slope-intercept form. When we're given a point and a slope, it makes sense to plug in the point-slope formula. So please put your name on that in your class period. You're going to turn that into the tray to make sure that you did this warm-up. So give you a couple minutes to do that, to turn that in. On that blank piece of paper you have out, go ahead and head it, and then we will have someone else hand out the assignment. Okay, once you've had your paper, you should be receiving the assignment. This is front and back. You'll be working on this for the rest of the class period, and whenever you don't finish, unfortunately, is homework over the weekend, so please use your time wisely. I expect you to use your notes as you're working through this. So please get your highlighter out as well, because I want to make sure that you highlight the directions so you know what the answer should look like. So 1 through 6 says write an equation in point slope form of the line that passes through the given point and has a given slope. So your answer should be in point slope form. We're going to do an example of that in a second. Okay, number 7 through 10, it says graph the equations below. So remember, whenever we graph anything, if I look back in my notes, steps to graph, I always change it to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So if you want to write that down, you can. But change to y equals mx plus b, and that will allow us to graph it. Okay, 11 through 13. Write an equation in point-slope form of the line graphed below. So our answer should be point-slope form. However, it says use the right-hand point. So again, point-slope form has our slope and a point. We have to use the right-hand one. So what I want you to do with your highlighter is highlight the farthest right point. So I want you to highlight these 3 points right here. Those are the points you're going to use when you plug it into the point-slope form. And then the last 3 on the front side, 14 through 16, write the equation in point-slope form that passes through the 2 points, and use the first point to write the equation. Then write it into slope-intercept form. So you have to write the equation in point-slope form using the first point. So in that case it'd be this one, and this one. And then from there, convert it to slope-intercept form. So you have a couple different steps that I'll be looking for on that one. The back, read the questions carefully. There's some tables that you have to convert to slope-intercept form, as well as some word problems, and then a quick writing. Okay, let's go back to number 1, just so you expect, or you know what I expect. On your paper, it should already be headed. We're going to put number 1 on our paper. Every question needs to have work shown. So it says we want to write an equation in point-slope form. So again, at the point-slope form, I'm going to write that at the top. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. That's what my answer should look like. And they give us the points 2, 7, and the m, which is the slope, is negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug what I know. So y minus, what's the y1 here? This is my x, this is my y. The y1 would be 7. Slope here is negative 4. And I have x minus x1, which is a positive 2. Whenever we substitute the x and the y, we plug it in the parentheses. And now I just want to simplify, so I get rid of some of those parentheses. So it should look like this. Y minus 7 equals negative 4, x minus 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that answer on my work. And I'm going to rewrite my answer here and circle it. So y minus 7 equals negative 4, x minus 2. And I'm going to circle that. That's the answer for the first one. Let's see if I answered the question. Write the equation in point-slope form. That is point-slope form, and I'm done. You're going to do that for 1 through 6. Okay, the other ones you're going to have to show a couple, like more work. You're going to have to convert this to y equals mx plus b, and then use the graphs provided, and then just follow the directions for the rest. Again, you're working on this independently with your notes. Whatever you don't finish will be homework. Make sure you do not lose your work, because you will staple your work to the back of the worksheet, and we will go over this on Monday. Okay, good luck, and have a great weekend.